phone script that Brian sent me on the IUL. But I have to tell you, just me looking at this, it may not be that good. Let me, I'll read it and I'll give my comments. But the phone scripts that I put on Brian are pretty cut to the chase. There's no messing around. I wrote 3 phone scripts that I posted on Google, on the World Wide Web. All 3 of those phone scripts went to #1 in Google when you search for the word selling final expense over the phone, selling Medicare over the phone, selling annuities over the phone. And Google is very democratic. It's completely based on time on site. I wish I could say, hey, these are the best phone scripts that have ever been invented because it went to #1, but it's not exactly true. I did some other tricks to get them to the top. Since I know it's completely based on time on site, these web pages, I also put additional information. I caused people to scroll down. So that's probably why it had good time on site, specifically for that reason. But they are good phone scripts. I will read your phone script. You are seeing my screen?
Yes.
Hi, this is Brian Davis calling from the Growth Wealth from Ulan. In Ulan, I would change this to in. Anytime you could use less words to the same thing, it's always better. If people in your realm of the world know that Ulan is in Indiana, there's no need for you to say that in the state of Indiana.
Okay.
Do people in your part of the neck of the woods know it's in Indiana?
No.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. This is Brian Davis calling from Growth of Wealth Agency. Okay, what you have to do is when you speak to these people initially, you have to do everything you can to cause them not to hang up on you. And I have to mention the thing that causes people not to, me personally, I don't like to hang up on people that are like just, the Pope or the real charitable good people. People working for cancer kids. It's hard to hang up for someone when he's saying he's calling from Cancer Kids of Indiana. It's just hard. Or if you're dealing in the senior market and you know specifically that a lot of people are getting calls from AA, or they're getting a ton of emails, or not emails, mailing. And the most recognizable company out there is called AARP. If you say something at the beginning of the conversation which makes you seem like you're ARP or you're some sort of competition to them, or you're providing some sort of good service similar to what AARP is doing, that's a good place to be. People will at least give you the benefit of the doubt when you first call. If you say straight from the get-go that you're calling from Growth of Wealth Agency, it sounds weird.
Okay.
If you have to say specifically who you're targeting. Are you targeting especially with our program where we have this game-changing good website system, which Brian, you know how to manipulate, how to put the video at the top. That's something that you could definitely be giving to business owners. And these business owners will like you a lot, so you might as well take advantage of that. I did buy I'm using one of those circle lamps at the top. I also have, from a good camera, I bought a really nice light, which I did not put on, but I will put it on right now. If I see how it works, there's an on. You see right here, it says on. I'm going to move it here, and we're going to see the difference if it looks a little better. I believe I put it right on me. It'll look more. But this is a far superior camera than I was using before, so hopefully better results will happen because of it. Now I just I didn't face it directly at me, a little bit towards the side, but to get a little bit more light there. Hi, this is Brian Davis. Calling from, so that's your niche that you could use our website to help out business owners. For business owners, you've got it's not the March of Dimes, don't you? The Chamber of Commerce. Is that a well-known entity for business owners?
I think so.
Do they like the Chamber of Commerce where you are?
I've never really heard of them, so.
But they exist. Okay, let me see how. Okay, I did put this thing in my ear, and I put it on my. Man, how do I figure this out? I tried to do a pod, and I mentioned to you the pod didn't work. I wasn't able to connect it. I've never worn ear pads or ear plugs, so that's probably why I don't know how to put them in properly. Okay, let me think about this. This is Brian Davis calling from, and where is Ulan?
It's a small community in Lebanon, which is where I live, and it's upscale, but it's the same zip code as Lebanon. So whenever I put my mailing address down, I just put Ulan, Indiana 46052.
Have people heard of Lebanon?
Yeah.
So why don't we just put, so anytime you could say less words, the better.
Okay.
And how big of a city is Lebanon?
It's about 20,000. It's a suburb of Indianapolis now.
So everyone's heard of it since
Right.
20,000 in a city of 1 million people. Indianapolis has about 1.5, 2 million people.
Right.
So 20,000, everyone's heard of it. Especially the people that are not recent immigrants, they've all heard of it.
Right.
And especially if you're contacting the people on your part of Indianapolis, the northern part, the section, you're calling all the surrounding communities. So let's just use Lebanon, Indiana, or
Okay.
Lebanon. If you say the word "I'm calling from Lebanon," they may think you're calling from the Middle East. So that's maybe.
Okay. That's true.
Is there a possibility they think you're calling from the Eastern Mediterranean if you just say the word Lebanon?
You never know.
Okay, Lebanon, Indiana. Okay. Hi. Okay, let me get a name of your company based on this. Okay, because this is just too long. Remember, the purpose of the initial conversation or the initial words is they don't hang up on you. That's it. You're trying to accomplish one thing, so we like to use paragraphs as well. This whole first part is really that they don't hang up on you. So we'll use something chamber, something that confuses it with Chamber of Commerce. Is it starting to make sense? Because we just don't want them to hang up on you. That's really what we're trying to do. Free website stuff to business owners. So new digital. So what I'll think about is something digital. I mentioned the word free. So let's free business helpers. Society. You can make up any name. Like, do these people know you from the hole in the head? They won't even remember what you said at the beginning until the end. It'll be like, you noticed it was from the Senior Alliance. Then it's if they ask who Senior Alliance is towards the end, it was my name is associated with that. So Brian Davis called them the Free Business Helper Society Chamber, since we want to confuse it with Chamber of Northern Indianapolis, Northern Greater Indianapolis. Is that pretty much, does that describe where Lebanon is?
Yes.
This is Brian Davis for the Free Business Helpers Chamber, business owners from the Business Owners Chamber of Northern Greater Indianapolis in Lebanon, Indiana. Would it be easier just to say you're in Indianapolis for all they? How far are you from Indianapolis?
From downtown, 25 minutes.
Okay. This is Brian Davis calling from the Business Owners Chamber. Forget about this word northern. Okay, the name of your company is as per this phone call, Business Owners Chamber in Lebanon of Greater Indianapolis. Would you say that's more likely to have them not hang up on you if they believe you're calling from some sort of Chamber of Commerce competition that offers good services to people that own businesses?
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to use that or something similar to that. You're saying your first and last name, which is definitely answering their question before they ask, like, who is this person? Brian Davis calling from the Business Owners Chamber of Greater Indianapolis in Lebanon, Indiana. Boom. Very quick chase, you're answering a question. So now they have an inkling that you're some sort of nonprofit, you're some sort of helper society. So you're going to answer their question of who the flying heck is the Business Owners Chamber, because that's what they're thinking. So we answer the question. Your question is probably, Who is the business owners chamber of? Who is the business owners chamber? Who and what? Who? So answer that question. What is the business owners chamber? This is. Let me tell you. Remember, we're still trying to get them not to speak. If they speak and they think, they hang up. So you have to make it somewhat entertaining, keep them on the edge of the heat and answer their question, because that's what they're thinking. So you're immediately answering their questions before they ask. That's really what the key is at the beginning of these conversations. Let me tell you how the chamber, we'll just call it the chamber. What the flying heck? Chamber helps business owners like you. I'm just giving you the initial one, but as you're doing this pitch over and over and over, ideally you're looking for some sort of sales pitch where you'll make a career out of it. You may have heard people on this call. Some people are really good on the phone. Some people aren't. But if you say the same thing over and over and over, anyone should get good. And that's what we're doing right now. Let me tell you how the chamber helps business owners like you. Firstly, number one, we are experts. Everyone wants to talk about it. You don't have to write it down, Brian, because I'm writing it and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
We are experts at marketing in today's digital environment. We will give you, let me repeat, I will, then you switch it to I, because you say we, then you're slowly but surely trying to develop some sort of rapport that this particular gentleman feels that you're an expert that will help them. Initially, not to get hung up on. Secondly, provide them needed information that they feel that you're an expert. And that's why we're going to switch that we to I. Let me repeat, I will give you a high quality website. Because you could do this in 5 seconds. Why not give it to them since you could do it in 5 minutes at no cost or charge, or I will give you a high quality website at no cost or obligation to you that will cross as a top level professional and bring you new customers. So remember, we're always answering their questions before they ask. So his question is, why are you going to give you a high quality website at no cost or obligation to you that will help you bring in? His question obviously is, why are you doing this? So you don't wait around for this guy to ask. You answer it. If you wait around for this guy to ask, he will hang up on you. He will think, why am I letting this guy waste my time? Then hang up on you. You just say right here, you are probably wondering why I will do this for you. To answer the question, cut to the chase. I am an expert at digital marketing. This skill set or expertise, you always want to use less words if you can. So I'm putting skill set or expertise, but at the end of the day, you'll try to narrow it down to this skill. I guess skill set is best. It's always best to use less words. Skill set is something that will cause us to have a long and profitable relationship. So you're answering the question why you're doing this for free. You're telling them that you're an expert. As an aside, providing you a free website is technology that does not cost my cost. The chamber. Yeah, he's gonna like be wondering like who the chamber money. It is a computer program. Doggone it. Remember, this is very much a first draft, but the general idea will not change. You're answering the question before they ask. The main why, let's get to, I use the word, you don't want to use the same cut, the same words twice. Did I use the word cut to the chase at all above? Let's cut to the chase. To the chase. I am a financial, what's the word we use for financial? I am a specialist. I am also a specialist in providing financial solutions to plumbers. You probably don't want to like say a plumber because, if you're providing websites to every plumber, the question he'll have is, how is it going to help me if 50 or 100 people, plumbers just like me, have a website? You have to, I guess we have to go away from that. To business owners, just like you. I work for America's leading, let's use the word mutual. I love the word mutual. Financial service company. A company had an insurance company. So you're giving the guy the answer, like why you're doing this for free. Like you're explaining, like you're answering his question. Why are you giving me a free website? Why are you giving me your expertise of moving up, getting customers? So you're answering it right now.
Right.
Let's cut to the chase. I'm a specialist providing retirement planning solutions to business owners just like you. I work for America's, on these YouTube presentations, I can't mention the name of the company, but you could go into as providing a secure 1850. Let me show you. By the way, did I use the word by the way? Mutual insurance, mutual is owned by in essence, when you secure your retirement with XYZ insurance company, you become a part owner of XY. Yeah, I am not a licensed insurance agent. I have no ideas about the legalities. Not a bad idea to check out what I'm saying is correct. You become but that's in essence what a mutual insurance company is when you buy a policy. I'm pretty sure it's only the whole life policies that share in the profits, but if we go to Wikipedia, we could see the exact definition of what a mutual insurance company means. Okay, let's get to more of the sales pitch. Okay, let's look at your sales pitch. We get a quick call to let you know how we got rolled out a new program. This is all stuff that's going to get you hung up on. because you're getting too much of like, his question is, why are you talking to me? Why am I listening to you? If some guy's sitting on the sofa and he's watching a TV commercial and he's just getting proposed some high-tech, highly complicated type of explanation about a brand new program about cash value, this is like, the most unrelaxing thing I've ever heard when I'm watching a TV commercial. You see this, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, so that's why I'm on here.
Okay. The cash to a lot more of the bank account was tax deferral, pays your funeral expenses. Okay, whatever you're selling. On the final expense, I did write a sales pitch online. If we Google the word selling final expense over the phone, you'll see my niche, how to get into that market. I did not write a sales pitch for Index Universal Life, which I'm doing right now. If we are doing screen sharing, let me just adjust this. Man, I probably can't use this wire anymore. This is crazy. I have to go back to headsets. If I go into this page, I'm going to do selling. This is my YouTube. This is my right here. This is our sales pitch on final expense. You could use this one. This is my reason. I believe you could see my screen, Brian. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Mr. My name is Brian Davis of Senior Alliance in Boca Raton. The explanation is in green. The introduction is to be said rather quickly. No pauses. Pausing allows the potential client to interrupt you. If the client has time to think, then he will be wondering, why are you allowing you to waste his time? In the meantime, since you put the word Senior Alliance, the client is thinking you are a charity, so he's giving you the benefit of the doubt. He's not hanging up on you. In red is the words. Here is you're answering his question before he has time to ask. His question is probably, why you call me? So you say, here's the reason for the call. This may be a word we'll use in the other sales pitch as well. Maybe I'll copy that and we'll go from there. Control C. There is a crisis in the community for many who are entering their golden years. These years are really meant to be enjoyed. To say it plainly, many people have not planned properly and their families are being destroyed by the cost of the funeral. It's a tragedy that could easily be prevented. I paused a couple of times during those couple of sentences. Normally, if you pause, they will hang up on you. The Senior Alliance of Florida and Boca Raton are experts in preventing this type of financial hardship. We really are. There are over 50 life insurance companies in Florida that sell a type of insurance that is designed to prevent this type of tragedy. To be honest, I am an expert. Again, it's the same. I haven't looked at this in years, but I'm using the same logic. I notice I'm switching from we to I. To be honest, I am an expert in this field. It would be my pleasure to work with you in preparing for the inevitable. It just seems smart to plan ahead to prevent bad things from happening. Mr. Smith, I'm sure that you agree with me, right. So we're going to use the same logic, which is the right. The first interaction we're having with this gentleman is not going to be a long-winded answer that he has to think about. It'll be right. Now that I hearken back to that sales pitch, which I wrote with more concentration than I have right now, maybe I'll here is the reason for the call. That was a nice little sentence I got from that other sales pitch. This is Brian Davis calling from Business Owners Chamber of Greater Indianapolis in Lebanon, Indiana. Here's the reason for the call. Maybe we'll get rid of this one. Your question is probably, what is the Business Owners Chamber? Boom, let's get rid of this. This may be let me tell you how the business, let's repeat the Business Owners Chamber. Let me tell you how the business owners, he has no idea who you are, helps business owners like you. Number one, we are experts at marketing in today's digital environment. We will give you, let me repeat, I will give you a high quality website at no cost or obligation to you that will help you come across as a top level professional and bring you new customers. I should mention there are specific laws in every state about giving away stuff to customers in order to entice them to listen to you or hear your presentation. In the state of California, as far as I know, there's no regulations whatsoever. In the state of Florida, there's $100 limit what you're allowed to give away. I personally made that phone call to see that. Other states, I'm sure, have different regulations. I do know in the state of Florida, there are people offering, hey, give me a list of 5 referrals and I'll give you a free hotel, which really means they're using a company like marketingboost.com where you give these free vacations, but the people have to pay fees and taxes, resort fees and taxes. It's ambiguous what the real gift is. So it's not a good place to go if it's ambiguous in the state of Florida. So I don't know what the laws are, especially if you're doing any sort of print advertising or mail-in advertising or internet advertising. If you advertise free website, you have to know what the rules are. There are people in your area who will make complaints to the Department of Insurance if you're not following the law. So please keep that in mind. Let's assume that you're in the state of California where there are no regulations on incentive-based marketing. So it's all hypothetical if this can be said. If you publish this, and you put it online and you paste it somewhere and you say, hey, I'm Brian and I'm getting all these customers doing this and it's not legal, someone's going to complain. Let's cut to the chase. I am a specialist in providing retirement planning solutions for business owners just like you. I work for America's leading mutual financial service company, an insurance company that has been providing a secure retirement solutions, providing a secure retirement. We can't use the same word twice, for millions of people like you since 1850. By the way, a mutual insurance company is owned by the policyholders. In essence, when you secure retirement with XYZ insurance company, you become a part owner of XYZ company. We're moving a little bit forward. Number one, on your sales pitch, you were offering 2 different products, which is really weird. Are you going for tax-deferred growth, or funeral expenses? One is dealing with broke people and one is dealing with middle to upper income people. You have to target it to one group.
I always like to talk about what it can do for living benefits too, leaving money behind for family members to pay expenses after funeral costs are paid for.
But just to let you know, the company that you signed the contract with, the mutual insurance company, really does everything except final expense. They don't do final expense. Final expense, you'll notice, is you're dealing with broke people that may pay the bill for a couple of months or a couple of years, and they stop because they're broke. The leading insurance companies in America are targeting retirement planning. Okay. They're not targeting broke people.
Good.
It's hard to sell. It's hard to make money as a financial salesperson targeting broke people. The state has me. Okay, you're like combining a final expense one and imagine someone who's broke. They're worried about tax deferred growth. That is just weird. That's not even money, or that funeral is not concerned about tax deferred growth.
I was just trying to throw all the benefits in, but yeah, I would like to have that out because I'm going to be targeting business owners.
Okay, so people who are business owners who are forking over $300, $400, $500, $600 a month are not worried about their final expense. The state has me to verify you in person and confirm the information I have in order to find the best time to get this out to you. I've been fully. Okay, let's grab this. This is actually a decent line. By the way, a mutual insurance company is owned by the policy. In essence, when you say boom, boom. Okay. My job, okay, let's do this pretty simple. Let's get to the closing line. My job is simple. What's next? Their question is, what is next? So we're gonna remember, I came in with this free website, which is really where I'd like to have this run. I'd like you to be making sales on a regular basis through some sort of technique.
It's BrianDavis67.com, BRIAN.
Okay, I've got it right here. You did some decent work here. You got the final expense quota. Any normal business owner, a normal human being, is immediately after seeing your website, how you put it looks nice. It has a quote engine, and you've got the dental. Hopefully you have the link where you can buy something on the dental here, that you've properly done this stuff. But any normal business owner will automatically say, how do I get my picture of myself or my business at the top, like a video like this? That's what any normal business, and what I would do. Real, because that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be looking at your video and they're going to be like freaking out. Like, I would love to have something like that as well. Double down on what this sales pitch is to input it on your website. So write this on your, don't put the sales pitch there, but find out what the regulations are in your state of what you're allowed to highlight, all this place to edit. You could even, in this top part, put words up here. You'll create excitement. You've got a good video. You see a happy person, but you have to couple that with final expense quota, because everyone knows that final expense means buying insurance for broke people to put the body in the ground. All happy.
Okay, I'll put that at the bottom.
Yeah, put that at the bottom. Maybe put some words here at the top. After you find out what the regulations are in your state of exactly publicize and do. I don't want to say the word. You could speak to people individually and break the law. You just can't write it down, but you have to follow the law. We are on YouTube right now, and I want everyone to be an honest citizen according to the regulations in your state. So let's find out what those regulations are. Okay, let's flip over to this. I've been fully vaccinated. By the way, a mutual insurance. So you're giving him information. Okay, so his next question is, Brian, obviously, like, what do we do now? Because you told him some amazing things, that you're a specialist in this type of stuff. You work for an insurance company, so he's starting to put two and two together. That you can do this website stuff because you want to sell him some sort of financial retirement program based on these couple of sentences. Is that sensical, what I just said?
Yes.
Okay, so let's tie in these two things, what you want to do for him. Okay, Mr. Jones, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith. Let's put two together. I will show you an illustration of how you can secure your retirement using the unlimited tax deferral. I will show you now. Then tax-free income.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, let's put two together. I will show you an illustration. As an aside, I will be your digital marketing specialist, which seems like a big deal. In fact, it is a big deal for you, but really only takes me minutes of my time. Let's get rid of these extra words. What I do is when I write, I do a lot of extra writing, then I delete.
Yeah.
The less words you have on these sales pitches, the better. It is a big deal for you, but really only takes me 25 minutes of my time. Okay, let's get, remember, we're trying to get $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 out of this guy. This is not like a small deal.
Right.
You described him, by the way, let's cut to the chase. I am a specialist in providing retirement planning solutions for it could be anything. It could be health insurance. It could be financial, whatever he needs. Providing financial retirement planning for business owners like you. I work for America's leading mutual insurance company. Let's get the word insurance in there. Providing a secure retirement that has been securing retirements Hey, I do know that these mutual companies, the company that we're encouraging people, they have more living benefits than anyone else, which is really a disability policy at the same time. There are all these big mutual companies, they're selling disability and tax-deferred whole life policies. That's really their niche. The one that we have combines the two, but it's the same thing. We may want to cover there, middle to upper income people do buy disability policies. We're combining the two. Let's cut to the chase. I'm going to provide retirement planning solutions for business owners like you. Very okay. And now you're reiterating the fact that you will build him a website or you'll do something for him in that realm. But now we want to make the appointment that he's going to talk to you and become your best friend. This is where you're going to go into the appointment, which is, Mr. Jones, you are, let me, as an SI, okay, now we're going to go straight into the life insurance that you need details. Mr. Smith. I guess at this, you could do a right. It's always good to get some sort of feedback from him because you've been doing a lot of talking. The style that I use is if you pause, the guy hangs up on you because he's thinking.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you have to have him at least say the word right initially. Then the second time you'll prompt the guy to speak, he'll say more words because he's going to have you give you details like his age and what type of policy he needs or what type of financial solution he needs. Mr. Smith, I see you are a plumber in what's a neighboring town of yours?
Crawfordsville.
In Crawfordsville. I am sure that having a marketing expert who will give you a free website designed for plumbers will help you immensely. I don't like to use good words, but hey, immense. I don't know how big word that is, but as that, I like to have these people say the word right. Does that make sense to you? That does make sense to you. Is that right? Well, let's go. Let's harken back to what I used in these other. How did I get these people to say right? What was the sales pitch I used before? What was it? Selling final expense over the phone. I just like the word right. Okay, let me see what I did here. Okay, let me, okay, I didn't use right. Is that okay? Yes, it is. But I like the word right better. Let's figure out how I can get right into this. Does that make sense? That does make sense. Is that right? That okay. I see your phone. You are plumbing Crossville. I'm sure that that having a digital marketing expert like myself who will give you a free website designed for plumbers will help. Am I right? So you're giving him the opportunity to say the word right or okay. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, I like asking questions too, so that's perfect.
You can't go like 18 miles and not having at least say the word right. So the first time this gentleman speaks, he's going to say right. Am I right? Boom. Then he's still on the phone, so he must be somewhat interested in what you have to say. Okay, for us to have this great relationship, I need to show you an illustration of what a mutual insurance company can do for you. Okay. In order, let me ask you a few questions. This is where you get into providing the illustration. You need information to provide, give some sort of. Okay, this is taking a long time. Let me ask you a few questions. He's a plumber. Remember, you're trying to get multiple thousands of people off these people. the major mutual insurance companies, I mentioned quite a few times, New York Life, Mass Mutual. After you learn the product, they have you write out a list of your 200 favorite relatives and friends, your acquaintances. So your acquaintances, ask a guy cold, what is your age? How old, how much money do you have savings? Is a little bit hard to someone cold, but it can be done if you've got some sort of link to get into his life, which this system does. We do have James on this call. Let me see if James is still listening. James from California, you're still here, right? Okay, let's James, if you could jump onto this call, because I'm a little stuck and you are an expert on this field, and you're the boss. So jump on to naaip.company. Okay, it's a new technology, and I did have right. Okay, let me click back to my StreamYard. Okay, if you don't have your camera plugged in, I believe it could still allow you, but I did hear a beep. But I'm using some weird system. I think I have multiple tabs open. Okay, let me see what it is. I heard a beep as if someone came in, but I don't see you. Okay, I see. Device not connected. Device is not connected. You will need to, you have to connect a microphone at least. Okay, we're on this call. I hear you, but Brian, you don't hear James. Is that correct?
I haven't heard him recently, no.
Okay, so we have to get him back on this call, on this system. So if you could at least hook up the microphone. Okay, James, it was nice knowing you. I'm glad we're good friends, but I'm gonna have to tell you, no, that was a joke. Okay, so what am I? In the meantime, we'll revisit this at a later date. I have to somehow get people on this YouTube instead of doing these private. So I believe you could be on our YouTube channel and you could write comments. And if you go to our YouTube channel, you subscribe to NAAIP, and it'll show the live stream is playing right now.
Okay.
Okay, we are good. I'm going to have to get back to Brian. And if you have any comments, James, comment on YouTube. In fact, I've never done this. So if you could do it right now, I'd certainly appreciate it. So I know how these comments come in. Okay, we're good. Okay, let me get back to Brian. I did mention I'll save all these notes. James, who was Brian, James, who was listening on Uber conference, he mentioned he had some suggestions.
Okay.
So I want to get his suggestion.
Sure.
So this is someone who's in the business of index universal life or making appointments would know what to do at this point. I'm not in this business, so that's why I'm a little bit green on it. But this is I need to show you an illustration of what a mutual. You can name the insurance company here. Let me ask you a few questions. Mr. Smith, what is your age? Boom. I don't know if this guy's that excited, based on this first conversation, to start giving you personal information, such like how old you are. And we are in the year 2021 where a lot of women have businesses, a lot of women are making decent money. So you really can't ask a woman, based on a couple of paragraphs, how old are you?
Yeah.
Especially the more successful women, these people are, maybe a little bit older. So what I would do at this point, if you are dealing with a market that's a profitable type of industry, it could be freelance computer programmers, it could be building trade professionals, where you have a rough idea that they're making generally double that national average, which is $1,000 a week. Let's say these people are making $2,000 a week. Is that pretty accurate?
I would say so.
Anyone who's a serious professional who wakes up in the morning has good comprehension, works hard, usually is making double the national average. So you really don't. So what you have to do at this point, I believe, you have to be somewhat familiar with making illustrations. The mutual insurance company that we're excited about has two products. One is an index universal life. The other is a whole life. It's the whole life policies which partner in the profits of the insurance. They partner, they get dividends. So the interest rates are between 4% and 5%. Interest rates right now are at a historical low, but they're historically low for everyone. The bank, if a person keeps money in the bank, they're getting really low rates now. Brian, what are the interest rates on a bank now?
They're like 0.01. They're about as bad as they can get.
And the inflation is high now. Inflation is kicking up. So all those people that have money in the bank are just losing money. It's not like they're ahead of the game. They're losing some serious money because inflation has kicked up. If these people are paying rent, which means they don't own their house, they don't own the lumber or the boards and the bricks, they're losing money by having money in the bank. So you'll show them you'll feel comfortable with one. I believe you were on this call quite a few weeks ago. There's a Vietnamese woman from Atlanta, Georgia, that says, hey, she only sold whole life. She did not sell index universal life. Index universal life illustrations show more. But that's based on, I've been looking at the stock market a little bit lately, and I did read an article that stated that historically the stock market has gone up half the time. It's declined half the time. 50 years it'll go up, 50 years it'll go down. As far as you remember, Brian, the stock market has always been going up, but that's in historical anomaly. It could be that for the next 15 years of your life, all anyone will remember is the stock market going down.
Right.
That's how it's worked out historically. It goes up half the time, it goes down half the time. So what you have to do is be able to flip between the indexed universal life and the whole life, even though the whole life policies are paying historically low interest rates, even encompassing the dividends. That I believe that's going to change, because there's no way in heck that interest rates are going to stay low if we get back into an inflationary time. And we are heading back. Right now, we're starting to have inflation. Interest rates will pop up. I suppose at a certain point, the U.S. federal government will have trouble finding people to lend them money to finance the debt. So they will have to offer more money. So when you're offering these whole life policies at 7-8% interest through a mutual company, it'll be really, right now it's about between 4 and 5%, but it'll pop up to 6, 7, 8% very soon. And these people could switch from one to another and all that other good stuff. In fact, I don't even know that. Can they switch? You've looked at these policies. Can you switch from an index universal life to a whole life policy and to participate in the dividends?
They have to be separate.
One more time.
The policies have to be separate.
Oh, they have to be. It's a separate policy. You're saying you have to decide from the get-go to purchase an IUL or a whole life,
Right?
and they can't, switch back and forth. But I believe on an IUL they can. They could do a fixed account. Is that correct? They could get out of the stock market for a specific period of time. But if they choose the IUL and they decide for a particular time frame not to take advantage, get into the stock market, and they go in the fixed account, do they participate in the dividends like a whole life policy holder?
No, but they can participate with an IUL and fixed, and then have other percentages of it in the different stock markets too.
But they won't be participating dividends, which is the profit of the insurance company.
Right.
So they're completely separate. So you really have to, you'll be able to maneuver between these two and decide what's easier to sell for you. To give you an example, New York Life only sells whole life. They don't sell IUL. And I believe it could be Mass Mutual and Northwest Mutual are doing the same thing, because why make it confusing? Okay, let's see. James, it says, James, I left this on YouTube. Use my expertise, not expert. Okay, let me use some of his wording. Here's the reason for the call. We are not expert. Would I say the word expert? We are experts. Okay, we are. Use my expertise. Use my expertise. Okay, I do hear James on my other phone talking into my ear, but if he could put it on YouTube as a comment, it'd be much appreciated if I put it in the right place. Okay, let me see if I'm in the right place. Use my marketing. I actually like the word I was using. Let's see if this does Control Z. We are experts at marketing in today's digital environment. You'll be able to see on this YouTube video what James is commenting. If anyone wants to input what he's doing, be my guest. Use example, not illustration. Let me flip back where it said the word illustration. Show you an example. Okay, you are correct on that as well. That I cannot argue. Jim has sold these policies. I haven't. So he has a step up, to say the least. For us to have this great relationship, I need to show you an example of what a mutual insurance company can do for you. Let me ask you a few questions. Okay, my experience is that business owners never have enough customers. Sound familiar? Okay, let me see if I can plug in those words somewhere. Business Owners Chamber of Greater. Here's the reason for the call. Let me tell you how Business Owners helps business owners like you. Number one, we are experts at marketing in today's digital environment. We will give you, let me repeat, I will give you a high quality website at no cost or obligation to you that will help you come across as a top level professional and bring you new customers. Jim wants me to add something to that, but the less words we put in, the better. If we could say the same thing with less words, that is always a bonus. Mr. Smith, you are probably wondering what I will do, why I will do this for you. To cut to the chase, I am an expert at digital marketing. This skill set is something that will cause us to have a long and profitable relationship. As an aside, providing you a free website is technology that does not cost the chamber money. It is a computer program, doggone it. Let's cut to the chase. I'm also a specialist in providing retirement planning solution for business owners just like you. I work for America's leading mutual insurance company, an insurance company that has been securing retirements for millions of people like you since 1850. By the way, a mutual insurance company is owned by the policyholders. In essence, when you secure retirement with XYZ insurance company, you become a part owner of XYZ company. Mr. Smith, let's put 2 and 2 together. I will show you an example. Jim did mention illustration is not a good word. Example. How you could secure retirement using unlimited tax deferral, then tax-free income.
Boom.
As an aside, I will be your digital marketing specialist, which seems like a big deal. It is a big deal for you, but really only takes me 25 minutes of my time. I am saying the word Mr. Smith probably too much. You'll take this with a grain of salt as you speak to more and more people. You'll decide where it should go, based on their age. If the guy is, 22 years old, you can't say Mr. Smith 7 times. I see you are a plumber in Crawfordsville. I'm sure that having a digital marketing expert like myself who will give you a free website designed for plumbers will help you immensely. Am I right? Right. I always like this right. For us to have this great relationship, I need to show you an example of what mutual XYZ company, XYZ mutual company can do for you. Let me ask you a few. Okay, we're going to get away from that. Remember, you're giving them exactly what. Okay, a note. Okay, James is giving a note on YouTube. A specialist is usually a pro in one field. If you're also a specialist in other field, it deletes your specialty. James, I don't want to, James, you seem like a reputable, nice guy based on the phone, the phone call we had, the conversation we had before. But the normal method of doing business for these retirement planning solutions is where someone like Brian will learn the products from A to Z. He will write out a list of his 200 warm market, 200 people that he has some sort of relationship with, family, friends. He'll become really good at collecting referrals. That's the normal way that everyone does it. We're bypassing that. This is our niche to bypass. Brian, would you say I'm accurate on that? We need some sort of, subspecialty. My specialty is websites. Just to give an example, NAIP, we're website specialties. But as soon as you come into our system, I say, hey, the website is just a no-brainer that you should have. If you could find something better, please get it. In the meantime, you click. You notice we did a good job. But then this has nothing to do with websites because that's just a no-brainer. I did mention before in this, it says, but really only takes me 25 minutes of my time. It's such a Mickey Mouse specialty, and it's a computer program, and it takes 25 minutes of my time. So we are not diluting it, but it is allowing Brian Davis to get in front of every plumber, every electrician, every business owner in his 20-mile radius. So this is how we're overcoming that. We're doing something that no one else in the market is doing, and that's why Brian will be a millionaire and laugh all the way to the bank.
That's right.
Okay, Mr. Brown. Okay, no, okay, Mr. Brown. What is your age? We really can't ask them these personal questions. What you have to do is you have to hop over to his place with a bunch of paper of a hypothetical 25-year-old, a hypothetical 30-year-old, a hypothetical 50-year-old, and hand him a copy. Because I believe we're going to a bridge too far, asking a gentleman that you're calling cold while between TV commercials how old he is. Like, he has no idea who you are. And the end result is you want to get at least a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 profit from him. You have to be somewhat local, so you could hop over to his house or his business and hand him this illustration, have a conversation with him. He has to see your website, which I did see before, which was somewhat impressive. Let me just go there again. Brian Davis. You're going to fix up this website a lot more than make it really suitable for the sales pitch that you're doing. And you could actually use this video, a secure retirement for you. Yup. Like something like that. If you go into your password protected back office, Brian, you will notice you could put wording here at the top. You could get rid of this final expense. You could rewrite the content. Obviously, if you're making money, you're going to get rid of this girl. Not get rid of her completely. Just get rid of her on this image.
Okay.
But you show up to this guy's house, and you really have to say you're a specialist in this stuff. You can't have Miss her. I believe her name is Trixie.
It's Madison.
Okay, Madison. I guess I got confused. Just trying to be funny.
She just gave me free concert tickets for the rest of the year.
So she's definitely
nice.
So she's a good girl.
Yes.
Yeah, free concerts are nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get in front of these people. Okay, Mr. A, Joe, forget about that question. I don't need to know your age or anything. I want to do good by you. Let's start by saying hello. You got to take it almost by ear. Saying hello. Saying hello. I will, you are in Crawfordsville. Let me show you in writing illustrations or examples of what tax deferred savings unlimited tax deferred savings can do for you. These products are only offered by insurance companies. Boom, boom, boom. Insurance companies. I happen to be You will be pleasantly surprised balloon up to provide a comfortable maybe I'm a little bit lost at this point, but you provide some sort of you meet the guy face to face. I don't need to know your age or anything. I want to do good by you. Let's start by saying hello. I see you are in Clarford. Let me show you in writing illustrations or examples of what unlimited tax-deferred savings can do for you. These products are only offered by insurance companies. I happen to be a licensed insurance agent. You'll be pleasantly surprised how 5, 6, or 7% interest rates balloon up to provide a comfortable retirement or comfortable.
Nice.
That's pretty much it. So you get together, you have all these papers, you almost empty out the studio of your printer. You show the guy an index universal life, close to his age, not close to it, within a couple, you have a bunch of illustrations of a 40, 45, 50. That's your first presentation. You really have to do this on a somewhat local basis. You can't doing these cold type of stuff. As I may have mentioned before, we offer he's going to want to talk about the website. You being a digital marketing specialist, you throw up these websites. You know how it's going to work. You give them the website in 5 minutes. It's going to have ads on it. We'll customize these to put your ad on it. It'll say Brian Davis. Call me. You'll say, hey, let's get this on your own domain name, GoDaddy, or whatever it happens to be. But remember, these guys, it's not going to be like what I do. I say, you do it yourself. You're going to do it for them. When you do Google Local for him, you fill it out on your computer. This guy's going to get a postcard from Google, which is going to go to him. You're going to ask him for the password. You're going to explain to him, hey, get referrals. You'll get 5-star reviews. A year or two later, after you got 50 or 100 5-star reviews, he's going to say, Brian, can I have that password? You control my Google account. It's not me. It's you. You're going to say to him, I would love to, but if the guy's your customer, of course you're all friends. If he's not, you tell him to have a night, whatever. It's completely up to you. But you're in control. In fact, I may have mentioned the gentleman who cuts my hair. He has no joke. He has 500 reviews. He could be up to 600 now, and I control his password. I control his Google account. He says to me, like, David, if I move to a different city, will you give me you change the address? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Free haircut, and we'll go from there.
But that's the scoop. Okay. So you just meet these guys. If you want to charge for the website, you can. If you want to charge for your digital marketing expertise, you can. The ball's in your court. If you look at my password protected back office, I can put a different ad for an individual agent, which you can also. There won't be so many customers initially, but eventually we will get this on the white label system where you have complete control of these websites. They'll have no idea that NAIP exists. But these guys, you may say, hey, come into, if you don't even want this guy to have access to the NAIP back office, you could do you could do a forward of the email. Like it'll be your email that forwards to him anytime someone fills out a form. There's a lot of ways to do this, but we are going to that white label system where when someone fills out a form on his website, he'll be getting an email from you and not from me. That's really where we're going. We'll get this done. It'll happen. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. The biggest deal in the world is to set up some sort of system where you're showing illustrations and closing deals on a regular basis. And the sales pitch, which I just wrote with your help, I believe can do it.
Definitely.
Okay, let me just take this. I copy. I go to YouTube. Okay, I have to get going, Brian, but definitely give me your input. This is just like the first roll. I go to YouTube to NAIP. Hopefully this is not completely blacked out, which it could be. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. The first couple of minutes were blacked out. I know that. We had problems. The rest of it is great. The whole thing is blacked out.
It might show up after the call's over.
Actually, it's not. The whole thing's it's not even gonna show up. I may have to redo this.
Okay.
Because I did have a thing where I got off the call and I came in as a guest and I was all confused. So this may not be live streamed anymore. I was wondering why this was all blacked out. Let me go back to this, what was it called? StreamYard. But oh, this is only on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
What the flying heck? It's only on Facebook. On Mindy's thing. I could always download it from there and upload it or something. Man, geez. How do I mess up like this? It's like not even believable. Brian, it was nice talking to you for 2 hours, but I don't want to say I wasted my time, but if you don't make one sale, I'm going to be like.
Oh, I'm going to be making sales.
But this is I did put it on this thing, which I'm probably going to delete, but I will put it on. It will be put on Mindy's Facebook, and this is going to be deleted. You know, if this was only a 12-minute.
Okay.
It's got, but we have that. In fact, I'm not going to lose it. I'll just I'll publish it on Mindy's, and I'll maybe share the whole thing on Facebook. Who knows?
Okay.
I mean, I'll take it from Facebook and take it on and throw it on YouTube. But we did get some good input. Let me just take this, what he wrote as well. I'll